So I think Cynthia Erivo overreacted a bit to the Wicked fan-made poster. So Wicked comes out in November 2025. It stars Cynthia Erivo as the Wicked Witch and Ariana Grande as Glinda the Good Witch. It is an adaptation of the 2003 musical starring Idina Menzel as the Wicked Witch and Kristin Chenoweth as Glinda the Good Witch. So a lot of people are looking forward to it. They're in two parts. So Universal Pictures, who made it, must be very confident in part one for them to say like, oh no, like there's going to be two parts of this movie. So hopefully for them, part one will be a major success. So there's been a trend lately before a film comes out that actresses, I've noticed, sometimes sabotage their film. And I don't think Cynthia Erivo's done too much damage. I think it's a slight damage compared to some of the things that I've seen recently. So what happened was there's a movie poster. Grande as Glinda is whispering in the ear of the Wicked Witch, which is Erivo, and you see Erivo's face. It is an homage to the original poster where Glinda is whispering into the ear of the Wicked Witch. But the difference is in the cartoon poster, the hat is over the eyes of the Wicked Witch. And for Erivo, you can see her face. So that's the poster that was out. Well, a fan went to Photoshop or something like that and reconfigured the poster, and it looks like the original poster. Like they brought the hat down. People who know how to do Photoshop are amazing. They brought the hat down, and it looks on Erivo's face. You don't see her eyes, you just see the bottom of her face, and it looks just like the poster. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this looks like the poster. But Cynthia Erivo was upset by this, and she said, our poster is an homage, not an imitation, to edit my face and hide my eyes, to erase me. That is just deeply hurtful. I don't think they were trying to erase her. Like, erasing would be, they would push her out and just see Ariana. Erasing would be, they would put someone's face over the Wicked Witch and it wasn't her. In fact, I've seen something that was far worse than this. There was an AI generated, someone took the poster and then with AI made the poster move. So Ariana is whispering into Cynthia's ear, and then all of a sudden they started fighting. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like a poster come to life. But that was far egregious. Then what we see is just a fan said, listen, I love the original poster, and I'm going to kind of remake this so it looks like the poster. And I actually blame Universal Pictures for this. Because they should have done two posters. They should have done the poster, which has Erivo's face, and then another poster that looks like the Broadway poster. And I bet you, if people saw that poster, which looked like the original poster, I think fans would have bought posters. They would have bought backpacks with that look. They would have bought keychains. They would have bought that would have been very marketable if they recreated the Broadway musical poster with Cynthia and Ariana. But they went with Cynthia's face. Now, I'm going to play nice with Cynthia Erivo for a second. Maybe it might be a little bit insecurity. I said, what do you mean, Kev, insecurity? Okay, listen. I think when they first said that the Wicked movie was being made, I think when people started to think about who's going to play the Wicked Witch, I do not think Cynthia Erivo was high on many people's lists. I think because of Idina Menzel, they was probably picturing someone who was kind of had India's look or close to India. I think that's what people were envisioning in their mind. When Cynthia Erivo popped up, I was like, oh, okay. Like Cynthia Erivo, she can sing. She can really sing. And she's a talented actress. But I'm sure she wasn't the first person that came to mind for many people when she took over the role. And she probably heard people saying like, well, why was she cast? Or there were other people that was better, or she doesn't fit. So she probably heard these whispers. So when she sees something like the poster, it probably touched her nerve. She's like, oh my God, like the fans hate me. It's like, no, I don't know. The fans don't hate you yet. The fans just want to have a poster that's kind of like the poster that they fell in love with over the years. Right. So I'm protecting Cynthia in that way. But what she could have said was, let's say she saw it, right? And she has like, what the? She should have said, she should have tweeted out, well, at first I was shocked because I didn't see my face. But then I was like, oh my God, it's just like the musical poster. And then I got really excited. So whoever did this, you are brilliant. That way, you're acknowledging like, oh, what happened to my face? You're acknowledging that you were kind of thrown off by it. But then you're thanking the fans for doing that. By doing that, you're creating goodwill. Like that's the thing that I think a lot of these actors have been missing lately. And it's really been lately the female actresses who've been doing this lately, where they've been fighting the fans over stuff. Like Rachel Zegler, she criticized, and she's starring as Snow White that comes out next year. And there was somebody found an interview where she criticized the Snow White story, which is crazy because you're playing Snow White. But years ago, she criticized Snow White by, because she didn't understand the story as far as like it's weird and it's outdated. But a lot of people still love that story. So I was like, man, you're playing Snow White, but you made this comment, And I don't think she backed away from that. I think she's like, no, that's what I said. And it's like, okay. And then you have Amandla Stenberg. She was in The Acolyte, and The Acolyte was a horrible show. No matter what she says, it was poorly written. The acting was okay. It was all right. Nothing great. The director was horrible. They spent a lot of money on that show, and it was horrible. And Star Wars fans hated it. And she went off the start when she made a music video where she was criticizing Star Wars fans. Here's a tip. You'll never win against the fans. If you have a rabid fan base of fans, you're not going to win that race. But here's the thing. Like, guys has gone through these criticisms before. If you look back, like Michael Keaton, everybody loves Michael Keaton. But Michael Keaton, when he was first cast as Batman, people did not like it. He got a lot of criticisms for being chosen. Even for me being a Batman fan, I was like, wow, Michael Keaton, that's interesting. But he ended up being the best Batman overall. And we've had quite a few Batmen, but he's still the best. Tom Cruise, when he was cast in Interview with the Vampire, people did not want him as Lestat. They did not want him at all. And because a lot of women read the book by Anne Rice, and they had a vision in their head who Lestat would be. And in some ways, they probably thought Brad Pitt would have been Lestat. He fit that more than Tom Cruise. But when that film came out, Tom Cruise was excellent. Tom Cruise, I can't envision anybody else playing Lestat because he was so good in it. But the thing about Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise knows he gets criticized for a lot of stuff. But when he goes to promote a film, he's shaking every hand. He's kissing every baby. He's doing everything because Tom Cruise knows he has fans and people who don't like him. But he's like, I don't care if you love me or hate me. I need you in those seats. So I'm just going to campaign, shake hands, take pictures. I'm going to do everything I can to embrace all the fan bases. And I think what happens to a lot of these actresses is, I think part of it is social media, where they have they have their fans and their fans follow them. And no matter if they criticize something, they say, yeah, you tell them. Or if they support something, yeah, we'll support it. And they're in a bubble. And I think when they put this stuff out into the universe, when they're doing their everyday stuff, I don't think most people are not noticing, unless you're a fan of Cynthia Erivo or somebody like that. But then when you put something out there like that, where it's like, oh my God, they're trying to erase me, then the media gets hold of it. So now that fan base that you had, who was always supportive, is now everybody else is seeing it. And it's like, what are you talking about? So I think when folks have their fan bases who are loyal, they feel protected. They feel like, oh, everybody loves me. Everybody loves what I say. It's like, yeah, this group does, but not everybody else. And then when we put it out there, it's like, oh my God. Like, and I'm sure Universal Pictures was like, what did you say? Here's my tip. Herb Edwards, former coach of the Jets, former coach of Arizona State University, said one time on ESPN a long time ago, don't press send. You might be angry at something. Like, athletes go through this all the time. The fans at times are horrible people. I know the fans like, oh, we don't do nothing. No, some of y'all are horrible people and horrible individuals. But sometimes the athletes have to keep on taking it. Sometimes the athletes want to go against the fans, but you can't. So you might want to type it up, but don't, like Herb said, don't press send. So moving forward for all actresses, if something is bothering you, go talk to your manager, talk to your PR person, talk to the studio. And if you want to email them what you want to say and say, hey, can I put this out? And most times they'll say no. But I would rather have you email your agent, your PR person, your studio, than for you to press send on your own social media. Because now every video, every interview now moving forward, Cynthia Erivo is going to have to say like, oh, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Like, or maybe not. She might double down. It's like, no, I meant what I said. So we'll see. So I think Wicked is still going to be successful. But now they got a little headache.